in a way. And once you're getting close, it got some tricks, but yeah, really curious how he plays the matchup game.
And Mewtwo's got that Hyper Beam, which is a very powerful attack, which counter pierces as well. I mean, Mewtwo's really got options. You know, he's got a lot of good moves. He's got that Focus Blast, there's his jumping A move, and I like this because, of course, we've already referenced it once. In the finals of the World Championships, we saw a Machamp player who just, I think he went all the way through the winner's bracket, if I remember correctly, and then just couldn't beat this Chandelure. You've got to have options, and that's what I really love about Pokken Tournament. We're a year in here, and as with any game like this, it takes a while. We need to, essentially, the really good players need to go out there and work out exactly how the game goes, and then we need to go and look at these players and see how they're doing, and then they'll teach us essentially how the game plays, and then the game evolves over the course of a year, and that's what I love about games like this. Because if we're back here next year, hint hint, maybe we'll see a completely different game. I mean, there's even rumours that we might have some more characters coming in the near future, some more things to learn. But it looks like Goreson is, you know, he's considering, shall we say. But we know Goreson's got more options. He doesn't have to pick Machamp. He's got other characters.
Oh, this... Did you see the Rotom and Togekiss pick, which implies he wants to have a speedy Machamp?
Oh, speedy. But then again, that's not a bad option. Because, of course, Togekiss gives you that speed boost. We saw it being played last year a lot with Blaziken. Not quite so much this year, but he does come out a little bit. And, of course, if all Machamp needs to do to win is to get in close, to hit with those powerful attacks like Submission and Close Combat, well, why would you not get a bit of a speed boost, make it easier to get in close?
You definitely want to. This is one thing I really love about the game, like the evolve of which support Pokemon do you pick. Like last year we've seen loads of Cresselias running around. And this time around we got loads of Jirachis, Umbreons. Well, Togekiss has been a good option last year, especially combined with Blaziken to power it up. But Emolga is seeing lots of usage, and I really... Oh, this
Chandelure! Ladies and gentlemen, it is a rematch of the World Finals, and you've got to wonder whether Skyward went, hang on a second, Goreson's well known for playing Machamp. So are we going to see a repeat of what Chandelure does to Machamp? Or maybe Goreson's like, I've watched the World Championships, I know how to beat this.
With Mewtwo.
He blocks, he runs, he jumps. Is he going to be able to get in close? Oh, we do see that beam attack. We see Smog coming out from Chandelure. He uses that Will-O-Wisp as well. Oh, but it looks like Machamp's in close. And if you just get a couple of good hits from Machamp on Chandelure, that will be all you need.
He got the grab.
He got
doing
the grab.
A really good amount of damage. And the few projectile. Chandelure doesn't want to get close. He wants to keep Machamp away as far as possible.
Oh, and he jumps straight over the Smog and he gets a submission, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to leave him on 4 hit points. And in comes the Togekiss for the speed boost.
Here we go.
Oh, 1 hit from Machamp. He comes in, he misses, unfortunately, with that that heavy slam.
Yeah.
But all he needs 1 hit, and no, we see the counter attack there. And in comes Cresselia to heal a little bit of that damage.
Well, to be honest, a really good amount of damage. And now Chandelure could go into burst mode. And there we go, it actually does. Try to keep Machamp away, but Machamp,
Has he jumped over the final flicker? No, he came in, he jumped and unfortunately landed in final flicker, and that is not only going to do a lot of damage, that is going to give 2 negative debuffs to Machamp. Lower attack, lower defense, and now after a rocky start, it looks like Chandelure's looking to close this one out.
Yeah, Chandelure almost was down to 1 HP, and now Machamp is down, and Chandelure got the upper hand here.
And he takes it. He was down to 4 hit points, and it looked like Goreson had cracked the code to beat Chandelure with Machamp. Not happening, unfortunately. But of course, it's a best of 3.
It's a best of 3 actually. And Machamp got in close and got the grab, but got countered by a normal attack. Machamp gets into burst mode. Looks like he bugged up, and he goes. Oh, doesn't land.
Dynamic Fury gets blocked, and in comes Reshiram with his blue flare. Gonna try and knock him back, lower his attack. He does get blocked, but it pushes him back into a Hex.
Oh, well timed. Well timed.
That will get rid of the negative status on Machamp, but it will also do extra damage because of that.
Yeah.
And now Chandelure's throwing out those Will-O-Wisps very nicely. And it looks like Chandelure's doing what Chandelure does.
Oh,
and the overheat!
Really well timed. Now Machamp is again down to almost no HP, and Chandelure just tries to take him away and get... Look at this. Tries to get the projectiles, but Machamp again got in close, which Chandelure doesn't like, and tries to push him away again.
But Chandelure now has that lower speed and had the lower speed and lower attack because of that overheat. They have gone away now, but in comes Machamp, and it looks like so they haven't gone away. Machamp wins it. And that is the difficulty with using overheat. It lowers your speed, it lowers your attack, and if you don't win with overheat or have a Cresselia ready, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a big, big problem because it really opens you up.
Yeah, and he picked Reshiram this time around just to push Machamp away. Oh, look at the damage, Ross.
So much damage, and now Goreson, it's like he knows that Chandelure is on the ropes, and he is rushing in with these big attacks with his bulk up. And we got the synergy burst from Chandelure. Goreson wants to avoid that final flicker.
He got him.
He blocked just in time. Calls in Togekiss, gets the speed boost. In comes Reshiram with that blue flare, which gets completely ignored. And here's the Dynamic Fury, unfortunately blocked.
Nice, well-timed grab there, punishing the untimed attack by Garchomp, but this is really close, and Garchomp just needs 1 or 2 more hits to finish it. No, yep, here we go.
Machamp comes in, gets those hits, and Goreson showing us, you know what? I'm not just going to be beaten because you picked Chandelure. You are going to need, and we saw Skyward there. He had the moves in that first game. He was doing it so well. He was throwing out those projectiles. He was working it beautifully. But I think every Machamp player now needs to be aware of Chandelure, and it really looks like Goreson is.
He better is. He better is. But he like really adapted well. He lost the first game, but then he just... Did he?
He did.
He did, I think. Never mind. He adapted brilliantly by rushing into Chandelure. Chandelure is only really good when you can keep your opponent away and damage.
But let's give some props to Skyward here, because he was doing the zoning well. There was some games, and there was that game where he used the overheat, where he was so close to the victory, but those negative debuffs were just too punishing for him in the end. Now, he has actually switched to Mismagius here as his support Pokemon rather than Reshiram, but Machamp's coming in close and he's got the grab.
That's what you try to avoid. Those grabs by Machamp do such a huge amount of damage. And now Machamp is again trying to get in real close, and he... What time blocked there?
Was blocked, and Machamp coming in here trying to go, but we see the overheat there. Now we get the lower statuses there, but now Mismagius comes in and turns the lower attack into a higher attack while going forward. And of course, when Mismagius is going forward, that's creating space for Chandelure.
This is a really clever combination. And again, Machamp is pretty close to the Chandelure. But Goreson, this is pretty even right now. It's like going forth and back, and we see Chandelure going into burst mode. Are we going to see... Whoa!
We almost lost the game there, but we didn't lose the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for you. Oh! And he's got him from behind with the final flicker. That is going to do an awful lot of damage. I think that's going to be enough to finish it off, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's going to do enough. Let's wait for the confirmation. Oh my goodness, such a well-timed final flicker.
Really good. Like, he got him right on the back, and let's see how Goreson is gonna adapt this time around. He tries again to get in close. Chandelure, of course, tries to get him away with the projectiles. Mismagius is like a really good choice and a really good adaptation over here, and I really like that one.
Yeah, we saw the flame burst there coming out. We saw him, trying that beam attack. He's coming in, but Machamp, Machamp is getting him in the air, and he gets a cheeky bulk up as well. That is very cheeky. Oh, and he actually stops the overheat. He managed to hit him and get the phase shift before Chandelure could get the overheat off there. That was very nicely done by Machamp.
Really, really clever. And Chandelure already, Machamp already got the burst mode ready, and this is where he goes into. He's blocking the Mismag is really good. Chandelure is landing the overheat, and again trying to push Machamp back during his burst mode. But again, Machamp comes in close, and this is gonna.
Oh,
no
he
hit,
minimized. He used minimize, but he gets him with the no. Machamp comes in and he gets him, falls on him, gets that jumping attack, finishes off. Very well done. Looked like Chandelure might have him with the overheat there, but that is not what happened.
No, I really like this match.
This is much more competitive and interesting than we might have given it credit for at the beginning. It's a very exciting match. Goreson is not even caring about the projectiles. He is just getting in close and doing what Machamp does.
And I really have to shout out Skyard here. He's not playing anyone. He's playing Goreson, and he's keeping up with one of the best players in the world, which is impressive. But here we see the target kiss for Machamp, boosting its speed, and we're gonna.
I think he jumped over it. Oh, and then he gets a combo from behind. And now we see the synergy burst there from Machamp. And Dynamic Fury is not going to hit. It's going to get blocked, but Chandelure's got very little HP remaining. Now he gets the KO, and Goreson, ladies and gentlemen, is going to win 2 games to 0. Anyone out there thinking that Chandelure's zoning game is too much for a Machamp to handle? Well, Goreson apparently took that challenge.
Goreson took it, but well, we can say that Goreson is one of the best Machamp players in the world.
Oh,
and if he's one of those Machamp players who can beat the